Alright, so first video, kind of, it's a bit more complicated than that, but I'll get into that later. I will explain that in a second. But before I get into anything, let me just first mention one thing. This is not important at all, but I just do want to mention that I am camo grinding right now, so if my gameplay looks atrocious, if I look like absolute bot, I'm sorry about that, but forget about that for a second, okay? Let me just get straight into what I want to cover right now. So let me first be honest here. This is absolutely not my first attempt at making a first video. Not at all. This might be maybe like my 10th attempt. I've just been not really happy with what's been coming out and stuff, But hopefully this will be the one to finally make it out, So let me not waste time. Hopefully, since I've reattempted this so many times by now, I can articulate my thoughts properly and really get my thoughts out and explain them properly. So let me start by addressing what I think would be important in like a first video, which I think would be this is like an introductory video basically, just so that you can kind of understand what kind of content this is, what I'm gonna be doing and all that, so you know what you're getting yourself into. And let me start by explaining it this way, okay? So I've always wanted to do this, and I think it all started because when I used to watch YouTubers back then, when I was small, I used to watch YouTubers, DanTDM, Markiplier, whoever I was watching, Since I was watching YouTube that time, when I used to watch YouTubers, I kind of got this habit of like, whenever I was playing any game, when I was playing alone, whether I was playing Minecraft or COD or Ark, whatever the hell game I was playing, anything, a story game, whatever I was playing, I would just talk to myself, or not really myself. I would actually talk to an imaginary audience, and pretend that I would just talk about like anything, I'd kind of pretend that I had an audience to talk to, and I would just talk to like myself, of course, but pretending like I had an audience, and I used to do that like a whole lot, all the time when I was playing. I used to do that for so long, and eventually that habit died out, but maybe not really died out completely, more like manifested in a different way, because nowadays I might not pretend that I have an audience, but even while I'm playing games alone, I talk to myself a lot, I just talk to myself, and I talk about anything, I just rant on about things to myself, I just talk a whole lot. Oh, that's depressing. Sorry, teammate. But I used to talk to myself like a whole lot and stuff. And so I've kind of always wanted to do this, And then when I finally made the decision, and I was like, you know what, let me actually just go for it, At first I was wondering, I think, oh god. At first I was thinking to myself like, what kind of content am I gonna make? How am I gonna make my videos? What engages viewers? What gets attention? What gets a lot of views? And all of that kind of stuff. And then I realized, you know what? Fuck that. Why should I be fake and just make overstimulating content and overreact to everything and just make everything like obnoxious, I decided, why should I be fake? Let me just come here and do what I enjoy, which is literally just hopping on the game, playing, and just talking about random stuff, I decided that's what I enjoy, that's who I am, that's what I am, so let me just do that, you know, instead of being fake. So in conclusion, what I'm saying is that this, what this is just gonna be, it's just like chill, low-key kind of vibes, you know, just chilling and playing and talking about whatever, you know, just trying to talk about to people about anything, you know, just trying to connect with people and just chill and relax, you know. That's what this is, you know, that's what I want to do, and I feel like that's an important thing to mention, you know. That's what I wanted to cover. I think that's just so you understand like what I am, who I am, and what's gonna be here on this, you know, channel. So that's what I'm gonna do, you know. It's just gonna be chill, authentic kind of stuff, you know. We're just talking about whatever with some other gameplay in the background, obviously. The gameplay is not really the main part of this, it's just kind of in the background, you know. And I'm actually playing and talking at the same time. Like, here's the thing, I'm not like, this is not pre-recorded, oh god, this is not pre-recorded gameplay. I'm not reading off a script right now. I think that's quite obvious. I think anyone could tell right now I'm clearly not reading off of any script. And I'm just winging it, you know.
Locking down Bravo.
Which, to be honest, I think captures exactly what it's gonna be like around here, so...
Incoming
you know,
flashbang.
that's probably a good thing. So, of course, this isn't like video essays. I'm kind of just... I just record and just go on, you know, just like that. I'm not talking over like pre-recorded gameplay like a video essay or anything.
Securing Charlie.
And that's really you know, that's really what I want to cover, just so you kind of understand what I'm gonna be doing here.
Taking B. We lost A.
And because I was thinking, you know,
B secured.
there's different
Enemy UAV
types of
detected.
there's different audiences for different things, you know. Some people enjoy this kind of stuff where it's more chill and authentic, and some people want to see the stimulating, you know, like a more stimulating, heavily edited and more entertaining at like face value kind of content, you know. And obviously I'm not slandering that type of content. Like, it might sound like it because I'm saying, you know, that kind of content is overstimulating, but I'm really just saying that just so I can put into perspective the type of content that I'm comparing my own to. But obviously there's different audiences for different things, you know. Some people come to YouTube to see stuff like that. Some people come to YouTube to see the more, some people come to YouTube to see the more stimulating, more entertaining kind of content, and some people just come here to chill and connect and, you know, keep it real. And I think that side, the latter, is where I lean into. That's a part that I chose. That's the side that I choose, you know. That's what I'm leaning into, and that's who I'm trying to appeal to, because that's what I like, that's what I enjoy myself, you know. So that's it, you know. And I feel like I've already addressed that. I think I already made that clear now. So I'm kind of just waiting for the game to end now, you know. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. I don't really want it to just end abruptly like that, you know. So I'm just gonna wait a bit. But actually, I don't think I'll end it after this match. I don't think I'll end my recording after this match. But there's a few other things I do want to actually just mention. I think the hardest part of starting this was like
systems compromised. Cut your wires. Go to ground.
We lost good people
building up my
today.
courage, you know. Like I pressed at first I pressed record like before I attempted my first recording. I pressed record like 5 different times. The first 5 times I pressed record, I just couldn't like get my words out. Like I just was struggling. You know, every time I tried to talk, it just wouldn't come out. But eventually, I got the courage to do it, and now this is where it is. This is where it's at now. So, so yeah, I think that's a okay place to end it, just so you get an understanding of what this is gonna be, and we'll see how it goes. You know. So yeah, that's it.